And my choir liked to have a fit. They were like, you understand what you're saying, but I don't think we should do this. I don't think it's right for Sunday morning. What is it right for then? When is it right for?
We call that in theology, we call it a rereading. It's when you take a text and you reread it for a purpose. It's not bad if it's good like what you reread it, and what you did was rewrote it. And here's what I say stand, I know that's your job. Here's where I say stand. I say if you're going to lead in that way, then you got to lead in that way without options. Because you gave them no options when they saying he hung him high, he stepped him wide, he hung his head, and didn't die. There wasn't an option. No, you sing the part, they sing it back to you however you teach, and we're going to sing this. And like every choir, they're going to have their opinion. Amen. They're going to have their opinion on what you do. But that's part of this radical part. I feel called by God to say to African American writers to begin to write things like that, because persons from other backgrounds, my white sisters and brothers, they are writing these songs and they are selling for $5.75 a piece to choirs. I got you now, huh? Yeah. And I have not yet picked up one by an African American in protest hymns. And colleges are buying them by the stack. I'm saying this may be a market you're missing. You hear me? I'm saying don't overlook our social, cultural, historical moment right now. Don't miss that market. Because those songs that they are purchasing right now are just as revolutionary as the redo of Lift Every Voice and Sing, Lift Every Voice and Sing. They're just as relevant now, outside of our communities mostly, than ever. And if anybody has a power and an intimacy to write about those things, it should be the people who the struggle is about. So don't let people who are outside of the struggle, struggling with you, get more gain than those who the struggle is about. And you'll look back 10 years from now and be like, I should have wrote a song about that.
The last 2 years in Fort Myers, they have a MLK March, and I'm the bar, y'all know the bar is person walks with the megaphone and these chants and these songs. None of the kids know that nobody turned me around. They don't know those. They might know. They don't really know the "We Shall Overcome." That's about the only one they might know. The first verse, now we don't walk hand in hand and all that stuff, black and white together. They don't know more verse than that, but they don't know, so they don't sing. And they talk, and we'll do some chants or something like that. They'll participate in that, but they don't know those songs from the 40s and 50s and 60s. But they shouldn't have. They should know a little bit of it, but we should have our songs of this.
You should have your song. That is the goal of this Raising the Bar. I said all that other stuff. This generation needs songs. They need their own. They're not identifying with that. And you mad at them because they're not identified. You can't get mad with them. When you were their age, you didn't identify.
We have to sing it in rap. You'll hear it then.
Here we go. So, the goal of right now, since time we have left, I want to get more to the working part than I did with the last class, is that I think that we should be called now to write hymns that tell our story. Now. The hymns that tell our social location, our cultural location, and our historical location should be written by groups of people like I'm looking at today. Okay. Here's the work. We're going to work. A protest hymn is a hymn that is associated with the movement for social change and hence part of the broader category of topical songs. It may be folk, classical, gospel, commercial, and genre. The most remarkable thing about protest music is that it helps people realize that they're not alone in feeling the spirit of dissent against certain injustices, whether on a personal or more overarching government level. You say, there ain't none of that in the Bible. No, you're wrong. Read Psalm 72, please. Read Psalm 72. Psalm 72 is a song. We didn't read it and coupled it with Psalm 92. Psalm 72 is a song that tells you about what the whole text of Scripture is about. In there, he keeps talking about justice and righteousness. Justice and righteousness. Justice and righteousness. Justice and righteousness. And if you are a person who writes and you haven't studied the book of Psalms, if you read the book of Psalms, there's a lot about justice and righteousness. Justice and righteousness. Justice and righteousness. So we're all in the work. So we're going to spend some time doing the work today. So here is a course that I wrote. I'm going to find out. I just posted to Facebook. I asked Brother Malcolm to give us a melody for the course. In about 2 minutes, y'all know what happened, right? He stood there and spit it out. You all will be responsible for writing 2 verses in this class time. This is our challenge, okay? I'm going to play in just a second what Brother Malcolm gave us. You'll be able to listen to it, and you're going to divide it into 2 groups, okay? Verse number 1, listen to this closely. You do not have to say these words, but your verse must embody this text. If your verse must give commentary on this text. God, 6 things that the Lord hates, and one of them, in context of our social environment, is hands that shed innocent blood. 22 guns, 20 shots. Unarmed. Proverbs 6:17. Verse number 2. Keep far from a false charge and do not kill the innocent and those in the right. For I will not acquit the guilty. Exodus 23:7. That's verse number 2. The course says, this is the only thing that I wrote, I am not guilty, so why must I die? I am not worthless, yes, I deserve my life. I am not nameless, my heart is inscribed. How much more comes from Luke chapter 12? God takes care of the birds. God takes care of this. God takes care of that. How much more does God value life? So, songwriters, raise your hand. Songwriters. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've got 3 songwriters. Can we divide into 2 groups? I need 1 songwriter to take a couple of people within groups of 4 or groups of 5. Do that right now for me while I find this to let you hear what Brother Steve has done. So if y'all go ahead and divide up, you're going to write a verse. You're going to write a verse. Let me find this real quick. I want to read what the brother